So I may have a little bit of a reputation on the internet, at least on YouTube, for being the most responsible with my money. I am just so responsible, and I just happen to like to buy things and open them and talk about them. Namely, chairs, VR headsets, etc. Who would have thought? This one I really will get behind the fact that it's a good purchase. You get to be the judge of that today, not me. I'm just here to talk about what I have purchased. This purchase will allow me to do more professionally, is the hope, and have, you know, some extra tools in my arsenal. So yes, we've established I like to spend my money. What did I spend my money on, you may ask? You already know, because the title of this video just told you, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. So today I'm here to open and unbox the Sony ZV1 digital camera. I'm so excited. I'm hyped. So this is the most recent addition to the oh my god, why did I buy such an expensive piece of equipment collection that I have going on. But again, I don't regret anything so far, so I think this was also a great purchase. But nonetheless, I'm gonna sit down and do what I usually do. We're gonna talk about it, we're gonna open it, I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts, honest feedback. This is not sponsored, and you're gonna get my honest review of this lovely little not so cheap camera that I am very excited to own. So yeah, like I said, I'm opening the Sony ZV1, not to be confused with the ZV1F or the ZV1 Mark II or the ZV-E10. This is the ZV1, this bad boy here. We're gonna open it. So as much as this may seem like a slightly unnecessary impulsive purchase because, oh my god, I already have a Sony camera. I'm filming this on my A7R1, for those of you who are curious. So why do I need another camera? Let me tell you, because I promise I do. So I'm going abroad this summer, and I'm trying to gear my content a little bit more towards some IRL stuff that isn't like, let's sit down at a desk and play video games. That's still gonna be happening, but I wanted to gear it a little more towards, hey, let's pick up a camera and go somewhere type of deal. And it's very hard to do that kind of content with a camera that's like this. That's obviously very descriptive. This camera is meant to be a very portable, slightly easier option for people who are looking for more of a point and shoot. This is a point and shoot actually. Point and shoot kind of style of filming that's a lot less setup, a lot less. It's a very compact camera, and it's geared towards like vlogging. That's kind of why I think it's actually marketed as like a vlogging camera, but it's meant to be a very like compact camera, which is exactly why I got it. I just need a camera with versatility, with a better functionality that's a little newer. I needed something that was easy to use, easy to shoot with, and I also really I was looking for a camera with a flip out like LCD screen. My Sony A7R definitely does not have that. I actually tried filming some like IRL content over the past few weeks with this. It actually hurt my soul because you can't see what you're filming. Even if you think about with your phone, if you're going to take a video like this or like a selfie, you're seeing what you want on that screen. Until you know you've lined it up, you're gonna take the picture. No one flips it around. And when you're filming IRL content, it's kind of the same thing. You wanna be able to see the shot before you commit to it. Because otherwise you just go film a whole thing and then you come back and you're like, oh my god, I wasn't even in focus the whole time. So yeah, I looked at the VZ-E10, the VZ-1F, the VZ-1, the VZ-1 Mark II. I also briefly looked at the Canon G7X and the G7X Mark II. Yeah, I looked at a few, and I actually went to Best Buy and just like held a few of them to see which one I liked more, because this was an expensive purchase. As much as I joke around, I did drop quite a bit on this, at least for me. Okay, I'm in college. But honestly, the price point I feel like was pretty decent for what you're getting. Like, I think it's reasonably priced. And all of the other models I looked at were also kind of in this line. This camera is aimed toward exactly what I was looking for. It's aimed toward being able to create content just with simplicity. It's a lot easier. You don't need a lot of extra equipment, a lot of like prior knowledge, but it also allows for, at least I feel like it allows for a lot of like additions if you want them, a lot of customizations. I'll get into that in a minute. So I have it, we're gonna open it, and we're gonna get my first impressions, and I will be very honest, because that's how we do things. Let's open it. Honestly, I am just really shocked at how like sturdy this feels. It actually feels very, not heavy, but very sturdy. You can tell the material is not plasticky. It's a very well built camera, which I really like. I also am just so happy with the size because I wasn't exactly sure how big it was going to be. I knew it was going to be smaller than my A7R, but I wasn't quite sure. It's small enough that it fits in my hand. Like when it's folded up, it fits in my hand and it fits in my purse. It fits in my pocket. For some people, I guess would be a drawback, but for me, that is what I wanted in this camera. Like I wanted a camera that I didn't even have to think about, oh, can I pack it? Can I fit it? Can I bring it? You can bring this. If you're bringing a cell phone, this will fit. I also really noticed that the screen is fantastic. I don't know why I expected it to be kind of like a cheaper screen. This is my favorite part of this camera. It's subjective, completely opinionated, okay? But I just love the fact that it just pops out. Like it just pops out and it tilts. This camera does not have a viewfinder, which for some people could be considered a drawback. I personally don't mind. Yeah, the screen is super clear. It's the perfect size. It doesn't take up too much space when you flip it out. It's not like obnoxious, like it doesn't add, it only adds an extra little bit, which I personally think is great. I love it. And it also flips back so that when you want to close it, you can protect the screen. So it closes against the camera. So you are protecting the screen if you're just throwing it in your purse, in your pocket, in your bag, whatever. So this camera does weigh in at just over 10 ounces or 294 grams with the memory card and the battery inside of it. The lens also features a 2.7x optical zoom. So you do have that zoom capability if that's something that you're looking for. The LCD screen is 7.5 centimeters and flips out. It's also fully rotatable. This camera allows for continuous shooting at 24 frames per second on a high setting, 10 frames per second on a medium setting, and 3 frames per second on a low setting. It features object tracking, dozens of shooting modes, picture effects, picture profiles, noise reduction, and dynamic range functions. I know some people really don't like the Sony menu system. I personally don't mind it, but I've also been used to it because I've been using Sony for quite a few years now. I think it allows for a lot of customizations if you're willing to learn the menu. I also really like the background defocus function. So on the button on the top, if you click it, you can change the settings of your background defocus. The autofocus on this thing is really good. It's really good. The eye tracking, Sony to go with that. They nailed that. Which the eye tracking also works for pets. It works for animals. You can turn on face tracking and eye tracking for humans and non-humans. Yeah, another part of this camera that I really, really like is the stabilization. So you can turn on video stabilization. If you've ever shot video outside while you're moving, you know that it can be really hard to A, hold the camera steady, and B, go back and steady the footage. And this camera features an amazing setting where you can actually turn on stabilization. So it'll actually adjust and compensate for any movement that you're making and will make your video come out way more stable right out of the gate. You don't even have to touch it. You just turn it on. It also has a mic built in right up top here, that little box on the top. This is the mic. The ZV1 also features a hot shoe on the top. This can fit the windscreen that it comes with or any other accessories that you might have, like this little light box or any extra microphones. I think the hot shoe on the top is great. I like the fact that you have the option to add extra stuff, but it's not like sticking out. Like I feel like a lot of cameras have a lot of, like it just adds to it, it's sticking out. This one does not, it's built in. The Sony ZV1 uses the NPBX batteries, but it does only come with one. So if you are thinking of picking up this camera, I would highly recommend ordering an extra battery and this little charger thing here. It does not come with a charger. It comes with a cable that you can plug into the camera to charge it, but I would highly recommend getting something so you can charge the batteries externally as well. One full charge on this camera is gonna get you between 45 and 75 minutes of video shooting time, as well as 130 minutes of still shooting time. So honestly, what mainly drew me to this camera instead of some of the other VZ cameras in the Sony line is I like the fact that it only has one lens. This camera does not have the ability for you to swap out lenses like other Sony cameras do. That I think all is personal preference. If you are looking for a camera that's very similar to this that does have the ability to switch out lenses, I would definitely recommend the Sony ZV-E10. As far as I'm aware, it's pretty much this camera with a few extra features as well as the ability to swap out lenses. So if that's a priority for you, check out the ZV-E10. For me, I wanted a camera that wasn't as big and I didn't need other lenses, because for me, when I'm traveling, when I'm on the go, I'm not gonna like carry around other lenses. But it does have the zoom feature, which I think is great. So if you do want to like get a little bit of a closer shot, a little bit of a wider shot, you do have some flexibility there. So this lens is a 24mm to 70mm lens, which for me is perfect for what I need. This camera would be able to function as a webcam as well, because it does have a micro USB and a micro HDMI port on the side. So if you're looking to use it for that kind of a function, it's perfectly able to do so. Overall, I just think this camera is a really, really great pick for anybody that's looking for kind of an all-in-one start out camera, or for more of like an IRL content camera. I love this thing. I'm so excited to take it with me. And I'm just like so happy that I have something that I feel confident is going to shoot high quality video, high quality images that I'm going to actually be able to upload to YouTube. And I know that this is a really sturdy camera that's going to last me a long time. I'm also excited to take pictures with this. I know that it's not quite meant for it, but so far this thing has taken some really good quality images for me. But like I said, this video is not sponsored. This is my complete and honest review of this. I probably will come back in a few months and give like an updated, now that I've been using it and traveling with it for a few months. So yeah, if you have any questions about this camera too, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm not an expert on cameras, videography, anything by any means, but I mean, I do have some experience. I've been using Sony cameras for probably like 4 years now. I've had this A7R for 4 years, which is kind of a long time, and I've been wanting to get another one that's way more versatile for the longest time. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I will also leave all of the links to everything I mentioned in this video down below in the description. Check that out. I'll leave the links of the camera, all of the accessories that I got for it, any accessories that I recommend. And of course, if you're interested in seeing what I do with this camera, my travel vlogs, more IRL content, all the stuff that I'm going to be putting this to good use doing, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you soon.